Today I'll be sharing my top 5 affordable anti-aging tips perfect for us over 50 women, and how I took my face from this to this in the past 9 months. That's coming up next. Welcome back, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman. I'm so excited you're here because we're talking about something that I've fallen in love with, and that's skincare. And I'll be sharing my top 5 affordable skincare tips for us over 50 gals with mature skin. If you're new here, a very special welcome to you. I hope you'll consider subscribing and make sure you click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you're interested in more makeup, skincare, and style for over 50 women, stop by prettyover50.com. There's a lot more great information just waiting for you there. Anti-aging skincare, my gosh, it can be a confusing subject, can it? My goal today is to break down for you what I feel have been the top 5 tips that I've implemented into my skincare routine that are affordable and effective. I know when I first started looking into skincare, it seemed very confusing. I would see a product that they said was good for age spots, but it was also a good brightener, but it was also a good collagen inductor, and I think, well, which is it? Well, the answer is a lot of times both. That's the wonderful thing that we have going for us in the skincare industry right now. There are so many wonderful ingredients that do a lot of different things, which makes our skincare routine that much easier and that much affordable. My goal today is to break it down for you in a very, very simple, easy to understand fashion so that you can really feel that you're knowledgeable about what you need to put on your skin. What I'm sharing today is what has worked for me over the last 9 months. I want to let you know I'm not a dermatologist, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm not an esthetician. I'm nothing more than an over 50 mature woman who woke up one day with very, very aged skin and decided I wanted to do something about it. What I'll be sharing with you today are the processes that I feel have been the most important to changing my mature skin. I want to share with you right now where my skin was 9 months ago when I started this journey. And I think it's very important to not only look at a flat shot of my skin, but to actually see how my skin moved over my face. I'm going to put a shot up right here and have you compare it with how my skin looks. And what I want you to look at is how my face moves and reacts as I move my face and talk. I think that that's where it really does show a difference in the improvement and suppleness and bounce of my skin. We'll be talking about that today. I'm not so sure that my wrinkles have changed that much. My fine lines maybe a little bit, but I do think that there have been significant changes in my skin that we'll be going over today that really have made an impact in how my face looks and the youthfulness of my face. What I'm going to talk about today are specific steps that I use in my skincare routine, not specific products, because I want you to understand what the different steps are that I think have made the most dramatic impact. What I'm going to do is I'm going to list and link products down below that I feel are ones that I've used and loved and recommend, or others that maybe I haven't used yet but I still recommend because of the ingredients that will fit the bill for each of these steps. There's a lot of great products out there that are very, very affordable. And I want to let you know that I haven't spent a ton of money on my skincare routine. I just haven't. Most of the products that I use are either purchased at the drugstore, or if they're purchased in someplace else, they're almost at a drugstore price. I only use a couple of products that I would term more expensive, and they're probably even less expensive than some of the higher end products out there. I won't be talking about those today. Everything that I'm going to be sharing with you today can really be addressed by an affordable, effective product, and everything will be listed down below. Keep in mind that some of these products do a number of things, so they may be in more than one category. I don't know yet. I haven't put the list together. It's in my mind so far. So if you see a particular product under one or another category or more than one, you'll know that it does a couple of functions, and that's great for us. because that means that that particular product is going to hit a couple of needs that we have, which is wonderful because we only have to buy one product. For those of you who know my story, I apologize, but there's going to be some people here who are brand new and don't know my story, and I do want to share that because I think it's pertinent. I am over 50, actually I'm over 60, I'm 63 years old. When I started this journey, I was 62, and what happened is I came home from 2 years of full-time travel, where I was doing what I'd done the rest of my life, neglected my skin. I swam in the Caribbean, I hiked in Ecuador, I didn't wear much makeup, I never wore sunscreen. In other words, I have done all the things they tell you not to do almost all my life. I went to sleep with my makeup on, I neglected my skin. I actually deserved absolutely the skin I had when I came home, and probably a whole lot worse. When I looked in the mirror, I realized that I could either let my skin go or see if I could do something about it. And to be honest with you, at 62 years old, I didn't know if I could really have an impact on my skin. I thought maybe it's too late. But I decided to go on a journey and find out. What I'll be sharing with you today is what I've done in the last 9 months and how I've taken my skin from this to where it's at today. It's far from being perfect, and I still have a long way to go, but I do think thanks to the products that are available out on the market and the things that I've learned, I'll be sharing all that with you today, I feel like I've been able to make at least a good impact on my skin and provide a little bit more glowy, youthful look to how my face shows up in the world. And with that, let's get into it. Number 1 on my list today is exfoliation. And this is such an important topic, particularly if you've been like me and haven't taken very good care of your skin. I neglected my skin all my life, and what I thought I needed to do when I started on this journey was to slather a bunch of stuff on my face and magic would happen. That ended up not being the case. If I had it to do over again, I would have spent at least the first 4 to 8 weeks exfoliating my skin on a regular basis. I would have just gotten a good cleanser, used my Retin A good exfoliator on alternate nights, and a good sunscreen, and that would have been it. I had so much dead skin cells and old sallow skin built up that there was really no way for all the nourishing ingredients to really go to work on my skin. I really needed to clear off and have a good foundation for all the good stuff I was putting on my skin to be able to really work. If I was to do it over again, I would have exfoliated 1 to 2 times a week, which is what I do now. There are a lot of wonderful exfoliating products out on the market, and they go anywhere from being very, very gentle to being very robust. A gentle exfoliator is something with salicylic acid in it. That's a very gentle exfoliator. It probably won't irritate your skin. Of course, it's always good to do a patch test before you try it, but if you're the least bit worried about the sensitivity of your skin, you might want to start there. And again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm just sharing with you what I've learned. The next step in exfoliation, or the next level up in exfoliation, would be a lactic acid. And I'll go ahead and list the products down below, one for each of these that I think are wonderful products, come highly recommended, and I've used most of them. A lactic acid is kind of a medium grade exfoliator, does a wonderful job of really removing those dead skin cells and giving you a brighter, fresher look. A very, very robust exfoliator is an AHA/BHA solution, and that is what I use on my face. I've never had sensitive skin. My skin has never reacted to anything. I've been using this AHA/BHA solution from The Ordinary for probably a good 6 months now. I use it 1 to 2 times a week, and by golly, after it comes off my face feels like a baby's bottom. It is so smooth and glorious. I really credit regular exfoliation with a glow on my skin and really improved texture. So if I was to start on a skincare routine today, definitely exfoliation would be number 1 on my list. The next step in my journey has been to improve my skin's barrier. And what is that? Well, the top layer of your skin is the stratum corneum, and you don't need to remember that. Trust me, it's just not that important. But what happens to us over time with age is our skin starts to act a little bit different. It stops producing as much collagen as it used to, and it starts engaging in something called TOOL, which is trans-epidural water loss. You might have heard that term, and TOOL is an acronym for that long term. What that means is that we need to then help our skin to produce more collagen and elastin and to reduce TOOL or water loss from our skin. If you think about a baby's face, you are going to go up and pounce a baby's face. It's nice and supple and taut and it bounces back. It's just full of moisture and lots of collagen and elastin. When you think about your aging grandmother's face, maybe someone 90 or 100, their skin just acts a lot different. That's because our skin is producing a different amount of collagen and allowing a lot more water loss. There are 3 things that I do to help promote collagen growth on my skin. The first one is vitamin C. Vitamin C has been shown to promote collagen growth, and I happen to make my own vitamin C at home in my kitchen. I'll go ahead and link the video up there to exactly how I do it. The reason I do this is that it allows me to use a whole lot more vitamin C than I could afford to buy at retail. I use a ton of vitamin C on my face, on my neck, and on the back of my hands daily for about a cost of $1 a week. It's very, very inexpensive for me. I do credit that liberal use of vitamin C with a lot of the improvements that I've seen on my skin. Keep in mind, this is something I've chosen to do. If you choose to do it too, you definitely can go look at that video. It's super easy to do and it's super affordable. The next thing that I do to promote collagen in my skin is I use Retin A. And we all know that Retin A, vitamin A, comes in a lot of different forms called retinoids. So there's retinol, there's differin, there's all types of Retin A out there. The most popular one, or the one that we all hear about when we think Retin A, is tretinoin, and that's what I use on my skin. Again, my skin is not sensitive, so I'm able to use a very high strength of Retin A. What Retin A does, and it's been shown this in study after study after study, it really does encourage the growth of collagen on your skin, which is what helps your skin look youthful after continued long-term use of Retin A. The reason Retin A is so studied is because you have to have a prescription for the higher strengths of it, and those pharmaceutical companies want to charge a little bit more for that. That's why there's so many studies. If you're unable to use a prescription strength Retin A on your skin, that's okay. There's lots out there. What you want to look for is a retinoid, and a lot of them are simply available over the counter at your drugstore. The last thing that I use on my skin to generate collagen is microneedling or derma rolling, and you might have heard of that. Another name for microneedling is actually collagen induction therapy, and what that is as you roll the derma roller over your face or use one of the pins, those tiny little needles make a tiny little damage in your skin, and that signals your body to go and create more collagen to repair that damage. I've been doing it about once or twice a month for a while now. It is a long-term effect process, but I do feel like I'm already starting to see a little bit more firmness and suppleness to my skin. I have done a full video on derma rolling and how I do it. It's very, very quick and very, very affordable. I don't have one of those fancy pins. I wish I did, but right now it just seems like a lot of money to me. I have just a very affordable derma roller. It takes me about 8 minutes. I do it once or twice a month right now. Probably would like to do it more, but I just haven't been able to fit it in. And I do feel like it's doing wonderful things to improve the collagen production for my skin. The third thing on my tips list is to hydrate my skin. That's very confusing because we hear the words hydrate and moisturize. Well, what's the difference? The difference is when you're talking about hydrating your skin, you're talking about humectants in the hydrator. A humectant actually pulls water out of the air and pushes it into your skin cells. And that's what helps with TOOL or trans-epidural water loss. As we grow older, our skin loses more water than it did when we were younger. Our face ends up looking a little less supple, a little less plump, and a little more dry. anything that we can do to actually add moisture back to our skin is really going to help with the appearance and texture of our skin. There are a lot of wonderful humectants out there. The one that most of us have heard about is hyaluronic acid. Wonderful ingredient. Hyaluronic acid actually holds 1,000 times its weight in water and keeps that water into your skin. Another great hydrator that's used in a lot of good skincare products is glycerin, and you're probably very familiar with glycerin. Another product not so well known is urea, which has a very, very dynamic effect of bringing a lot of water into the skin cell. We want to keep our skin hydrated so that those skin cells are nice and plump and our face looks fresher and more youthful. The next tip is to moisturize our face, and we all know that. I want to address the difference between moisturizing and hydrating. We want to hydrate our skin to actually add water to our cells. We want to moisturize our skin to seal that water in. So when I look at the word moisturizer, I like to think Saran wrap. What that moisturizer is going to do is it's going to coat your skin in order to hold that water from your hydration into your skin. When you hear the word occlusive, what that means is the more occlusive a moisturizer is the heavier it is and the more it's going to actually hold that water into your skin. If you have oily skin, you want a less occlusive moisturizer to let that oil out. If you have dry skin, you want a more occlusive moisturizer or a heavier moisturizer in order to hold all that water in. So we want to hydrate our skin to plump up those cells with water, and then we want to seal that water in with our moisturizer. Very popular ingredients in moisturizers are shea butter and lanolin, nut or seed oils like almond oil, olive oil, coconut oil, the plant oils like squalane, jojoba, rosehip. Those are all wonderful moisturizing ingredients that will help hold that water into your skin. And remember, the drier your skin, the more occlusive or thicker you'll want your moisturizer in order to hold more of that water into your cells. So far we've talked about exfoliating the skin to get off the old dead skin cells and promote new fresh skin cells. We've talked about strengthening our skin's barrier by increasing the collagen. We've covered humectants, or actually adding water into our skin cells to counteract TOOL, that's transepidural water loss, or actually water leaving our skin. And then we've talked about actually saran wrapping or sealing that moisture into our face with a good moisturizer. The last thing we want to talk about today is protection, and we all know what that's going to be. That's going to be sunscreen. I can't tell you how many eye rolls I've given to people who have, in a wonderful fashion, told me to wear sunscreen. Did I listen? No, I didn't listen. Am I listening now? Yes, I'm listening. When we exfoliate our skin and promote new skin cells, we want to protect those skin cells and make sure that they have the best chance of really performing well. A good sunscreen is vital, particularly if you're going to be embarking on a very, very thorough skincare routine, because you want to protect the gains that you make with a good sunscreen. I've found a lot of good, very affordable sunscreens, and I'll list and link them down below. What I always remember when I'm putting on my sunscreen is I know that I need at least 1/4 teaspoon of sunscreen in order to fully cover my face, my neck, and the back of my hands, and maybe even a little bit more. I'll put the sunscreen on the palm of my hand, and I'll really look to gauge to see, do I have a full 1/4 teaspoon of that sunscreen here, and if not, I'll add a little bit more. And I always err on the side of putting more sunscreen on my face. What I do in the morning when I have done my skincare routine and ended with my sunscreen, I want to give everything, especially that sunscreen, a chance to really sink into my cells. So what I'll do is I'll put everything on my face, and then I'll go sit down and I'll meditate for a good 20-25 minutes to allow all those nourishing ingredients to really sink into my skin. Sunscreen, absolutely number 5 on my list of best anti-aging tips. Those are my top 5 affordable best anti-aging tips for us over 50 gals with mature skin. I hope you found this helpful. My goal was to really break it down in a very, very simple way so it would be easy for you to understand. I know when I first started with my skincare routine, it was confusing and I didn't know what I was doing and why I was doing it and why I was using the products I was using when I was using it. I really wanted someone to break it down for me in a very simple way so that I knew the best next steps to move forward with. And this is where I'm at right now. Clearly, I have a long way to go. I have a lot of damage to make up for, but I do feel in only 9 months I've been able to make some good headway with how my skin actually looks on my face. If you found this helpful, it would be great if you give me a thumbs up and share it with someone that you think might enjoy it. If you're new here, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you're interested in more makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman, stop by prettyover50.com. There's a lot more great information just waiting for you there. You guys know it just tickles me when you take a few minutes out of your day to spend it with me. I appreciate that and I appreciate you. Again, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50 where we talk everything makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman. Make it a great day. Have a wonderful week and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.